Hi, I'm Shaken Gaming, and very ho 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 to you with this magnificent picture of Christmas coming soon, I suppose, with Uncle Ho. The Uncle Ho is coming with the season this 1st December, lasting all December, where you can achieve this guy, and more or less all the pandas will be reworked. Not all of them will be finished on the 1st of December, but then the following days. Here are a summary of the patch notes. I'm not going to read them, I'm just going to go over the most important stuff. First thing I want to show you is the rune selection. You can click here and you can auto assign. You can also choose the old way of finding your runes, adding them, min-maxing everything, which is the best way if you want to be certain that everything is as it should be. But you can also use this auto-assign wheel. It tells you what it's going to chase, and you just click auto-assign. If you click nothing, it will just use the unequipped runes. You click apply and it says what it found for Talan, and it's going with some weird shit. Let's see where that ended. She'll end on 52% critical hit chance with her own leadership. That will actually be beneficial for her with that set, and some potency. But will it always choose the right? Then you can choose, I know Revol has some runes, I know Shadar and Buff and Lake, maybe they have some runes that fits Talan, and then I can click apply, and now it will also look in Lake's and Shadar's runes, and it found 4 better runes, it thinks, and that's how it works. There's different recommendations. I will not agree with all of them, naturally, but it will help some people, definitely. If you just want to quickly slam some bad runes on a character that's mandatory for the next tournament, for example, you can use the auto sign-on thing for runes. Super easy to use, just click and forget. But don't expect always to get optimal results. That's one part. The other part, pandas. Got this Uncle Ho guy, and a lot of other things have been changed. In the patch notes so far, Hilda isn't mentioned. She will be reworked, but maybe a bit later. Lake leadership also is mentioned in the patch notes, that they will get reworked, but they are not in the patch notes yet. All the others have changes in bigger or to a bigger or lesser degree. If we start with the simplest of them all, Rune, she stays exactly the same, except her her passive ability changes. So she will get 40% chance to gain invisibility at the end of her turn. Each living panda defender or panda warrior increases this chance by 20%. So if she's with Kinli, Shaolin, and Master Duo, she will go invisible and stay invisible all the time. When she's invisible, she gains 35% physical damage increase. So definitely stronger, enough to make her viable. I don't know, let's see about that. That was the easy one. Who next? Fao is also relatively simple. She has had added critical hits, inflict burning for 1 turn if there's a living allied panda mage. So very restrictive. There are only 2 of those. But if she's with Lake or Ember, she will inflict burning on crits, which is a big deal. She also, instead of only getting a dodge increase as before on her third ability, she herself gets cheat death for 2 turns as well, helping to mitigate a bit how squishy she is. The other abilities are exactly the same. Shaolin and Master Duo. I think those are the simplest ones to take next. They've changed a bit. They've swapped at least one ability. I think it's this one. Yeah. Shaolin and 4 allies recover 30% of the turn meter, gain regeneration for 2 turn, and Shaolin gains 1 more stack of regeneration and the new self-control buff. So it wasn't that simple at all, but it's basically Master Duo's second ability now is this, except for getting the self-control also. Self-control is a new Panda buff, which makes you immune to daze, stun, ability block, and turn meter removal. So it's quite a nifty one. And he gives that to himself on this ability he took from Master Duo. Nothing new to his first and his third ability, but his passive ability is now useful because he deals 1% more damage for every 4% of his health and an additional 10% if he has full health. So you want to damage him just a bit because he will do a lot more damage when he's on full, well-fed master ability. That was Shaolin. Let's take them fast. Master Duo has been changed as well. He can now counterattack invisible enemies on top of being immune to blind, because he's blind already, of course. Increases accuracy by 15% and an additional 5% for each panda in the party. Meaning he cannot miss. And he can counterattack invisible enemies. And target them. So that's something new for him. His third ability is nothing new. His basic ability stays the same, meaning he's still the best turn meter removal character in the game. But his second ability, which now was with Shaolin, deals 220% physical damage to all enemies. If enemies receive damage, gain damage increase for 2 turns. So Master Duo got an AoE. If he's viable or not with it, time will tell. I can't say yet. Hilda, no changes yet, but there will be. Now, these becomes a bit more tricky because it gets a bit complicated. I will end with the last 3 complicated to the end. Kinley, the same. Allied pandas gain 30% maximum health. They recover 5% health when they critical hit. On top of that, pandas with full health recovers 5% of turn meter instead when they hit. If they critical hit and they already have full health, they will gain a bit of turn meter instead. That's his leadership changed. Passive the same. The last 3 have changed slightly. His taunt ability makes him stronger. Quite annoying really if he's the last standing, just like Master Duo has this if he's the last one. If Kinley is the last remaining fighter, he gains damage increase, crit chance, and dodge for 3 turns. So I'm not sure it makes any difference, but it's a buff nevertheless. This one is helpful. It got changed from 50% chance to apply tenacity increase to armor increase. And this one has been changed as well. If he has more health than the target, this attack deals 250% physical damage instead. Before it was guaranteed crit or something, and if he had full health, making it more or less useless. Now it has some benefit, but it's not like he does a lot of damage. So a change, but not a big one to Kinley really. The last three are a bit more complicated. The last four, I mean, but I think Kui is the right one to start with. His leadership ability is now all ally healing abilities apply a shield equal to 45% of the health healed. So it's a guaranteed chance. It's not a chance anymore. It's guaranteed. And you will gain health shield, for 20% of all damage done by order. This one, when applying a shield, Patriarch Kui heals an ally by 25% of the shield. Ally with full health gain 15% extra shield. Before this was a rather low chance. It was nice when it happened, but now it happens every time, making him a lot stronger at healing and also being able to shield even more when he's using it on characters with full health. So that's a big buff. You saw that Kinley had the armor increase now. That's because Kui now has the tenacity increase, so they got them both still. It just changed to Kui instead. Allies from the order gain tenacity increase and self-control for 2 turns instead. I'm not sure if this is right. Maybe this should be just Panda, but maybe it's order. If it's order, it's very good. I thought I saw it early on the test server as just Pandas, but very nice. So he gives tenacity increase, he gives daze immunity, stun immunity, ability block immunity, and turn meter removal in one buff. That's a big one. And then there's the same shield ability as before, but removes 2 debuffs from an ally. And the basic ability deals 220% magic damage to an enemy, Kinley, and a random ally, guaranteed. Kinley and a random ally gain shield equal to 25% of the damage dealt. He doesn't do a lot of damage, so it's not a lot, but it's not a proc, it's not a chance now. You don't have to hope for RNG, it's there every time. So Patriarch Kui is now consistent in what he does. He's also better in every aspect. Definitely not the weak one he was. I'm not saying he's strong, but he's a lot better. Now, Lake Ember Uncle Ho. I think I might go with Ho now, because it's easier to have the 2 last ones last. Ho is the new season character. He's got bugger. Well, he's got average health and average shield. I remember from looking at his stats. His physical armor and magical armor are average. He's got decent damage, but his abilities doesn't do that much damage. His speed is above average, but not by a lot. That was his stats. Short, simple. His abilities. Basic ability, 250% of magic physical damage to an enemy, decreases dazed and burning targets turn meter by 20%. So that requires a dazed or burning target. His second ability deals 420% physical damage to an enemy, cannot be dodged. Half of the damage from this attack penetrates the shield. It's good, you can hit the health. And Hilda gains shield equal to 25% of the damage dealt. So synergizes with Hilda. He does again on his third ability. Now this is a big one. It's the fireworks you saw earlier. Inflict accuracy decrease on all enemies for 2 turns, meaning 20 or 30% less chance to hit. I just forgot. And applies crit damage to all allies, crit chance to all allies for 2 turns. and restores 1 turn to each of Hilda's ability. That's a big one. And his passive looks rather dull, but really isn't. 60% chance to inflict daze or burning on 3 random enemies for 2 turns after using a skill. So no matter what he uses of these, he has 60% chance to inflict daze or burning on 3 random enemies, and thus making his turn meter removal on his basic ability possible. Also, if you pair him up with Vow, Ember, who can also inflict fire now, that will help him a lot. I'll show some gameplay with him in a minute. Lake. Leadership ability, not changed, but will be. His passive ability, I don't think that is changed. Increases tenacity by 25%, extra 5% for each living panda. Ember receives the same buff. Lake gains accuracy increase and debuff immunity for 2 turns. Lake recover 30% health. If Ember is on the battlefield, both gain damage increase for 2 turns. The big AoE deals 200% magic damage to all enemies. Remove all burning stacks from them. Deal 40% more damage for every burning removed. And removes 1 buff for each burning stack removed from an enemy. So he can do some extra shenanigans here. And the basic, I think that's the same, not changed. And Ember. Ember has a new personal buff just for her, Inner Fire. She gets 5% extra potency for every stack of Inner Fire, and she gains 1 Inner Fire stack for 3 turns at the end of her turn, and then on a lot more. She then gets 20% chance to gain 1 additional stack for each living ally panda, meaning if you have full panda team, she will gain 2 Inner Fire stacks at the end of each of her turns. For any burning removed from enemy or remained unkilled enemy, Ember gains 1 Inner Fire for 3 turns. So when Lake removes them, she gains Inner Fire. If enemies die with burning on them, she gains Inner Fire. Ember is definitely subject to change before the final release. I think all of them are really. There can be some changes, but overall it should be accurate. These Inner Fires also get used on top of giving her more potency. They have a special condition on each of her abilities, making her rather complex to completely comprehend. She has 250% magic damage to an enemy, removes 1 Inner Fire stack from Ember, and inflict burning for 2 turns for each stack of Inner Fire removed. So on first turn, she will have no Inner Fire and she will not inflict burning, but for the rest of her turns, she should have Inner Fire when using this, and she will inflict burning for 2 turns. 1 stack. Her second ability does the 400% magic damage. I think that's 100% less. Stuns for 1 turn just as before, but then removes 3 Inner Fire stacks if you have them, and deals 50% of magic damage on top, and removes 1 buff for each Inner Fire stack removed. So 50% more damage and removes buffs for every Inner Fire stack she had at the time and could use. The last one deals 280% magic damage to all enemies, inflict burning for 2 turns on all enemies without burning. So no more burning if they are already burning, which is a bit sad that they cannot get double burned by her, being the fire panda and all. She can then remove 9 Inner Fire stacks and deal 25% extra damage for every stack removed. That can scale up to quite a lot of damage. Let's see Uncle Ho in action. He's got runes, who doesn't? Ember, Patriarch, Cree, Lake. It's nifty for this. You can just choose all except some pandas I'm going to use. So very, very good on the test server at least. I'm keeping it on the pandas, at least some of them. Apply, and we get some runes on Lake. That was quicker and easier than doing it myself. And I'll take Ember, Cree, Lake, Uncle Ho, and Hilda or Kinley. I think I'll take Hilda just for the fun of it, because she has some synergy. This will be the last I show. It's me, Nith. I think he's calling for an attack. We can also see double action then both ways. And he's gone with the... I think I'll do something different. Just to see more pandas. Where are they? There. Panda, panda, panda. Yeah. I'll try that instead. Just to get some difference. And we can slow it down so you can see the animations. Primarily from Uncle Ho. Ho, ho, ho. He is a Christmas guy. No burning on the first one. Let's see if we can hit Mr. Ho. And some immunity there. And here comes the firecracker. He got daze on Ember and on Ho, and then accuracy decrease, which was 20%, which is why I clicked. I couldn't remember if it was 20 or 30, but it's 20 on all enemies, so they are now less likely to hit. Gain tenacity increase and applies it to 4 allies for 2 turns. I think I will use that, because now Mr. Ho on the other side will have less chance of applying that buff to me, debuff. He still succeeded quite well. And stun. Oh, she had 2 inner fires, by the way. Forgot to show that. And she gained. That's impossible to see with all these buffs. Plus 5 potency. She's got 1 stack. Shouldn't she have 2? Her leadership, her passive set 1 stack at the end of her turn, plus 1 stack for 20% chance for each panda in the group, so that might be a bit bugged. Let's keep on hitting. Tenacity decrease on Hilda, she is dead. And this one cannot be dodged. Half the damage goes to Hilda, which I don't have because I took Kinley by mistake. And the Crane Mother, who shall have it? I think this durable panda will. 22k shield. That's something, right? And let's see if we can strip some stuff here. Smack. And there's just 2 burning, not a lot, but it will hurt still unless she dodges. She didn't, but that was hurtful. And let's click on the auto button for the rest of the fight. Goes a bit quicker, and we'll still see the animations from Uncle Ho Ho Ho. Smack. This was a mirror match. Not much fun in that. Now Ember's got 6 stacks. Maybe I should just wait. Oh, I didn't reach it. No, never mind. That was it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, do whatever you want. See you around.